Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video Deacon Gaming are bringing you a class setup which myself, I'm Mr. Sloth, uses quite regular. It is really good for
in my sights.
It is really good for aiming in fast and getting kills with less than 5 bullets for each kill. That is on the standard game mode, so not hardcore, but if you do play hardcore it can range between 2 and 5 bullets. So here we go, we're going to go on to multiplayer and we are going to start off with the class. So first things first, you are going to want to pick a class, and the weapon that you are going to want to choose is of course the P90. Now the P90 is overall a brilliant gun. Over the years of CODs, the P90 submachine gun has been one of the guns that you can always rely on. So head over to machine guns and click the P90. Next go to gunsmith, and first thing you want to do is the muzzle, and you want to put on the flash guard. Now this flash guard stops the flash from the weapon. But the con is the bullet velocity, but that is not a problem. So you want to stick that on. You don't want a barrel and you don't want a laser. Now we'll come back to optics. Under barrel you want a granulated grip tape. So there it is. This gives you aiming stability, which is really good. So we'll stick that on. Next go to rear grip, and you want a stippled grip tape. So this one here, this Pro, it gives you aim down sight speed, which is what we want, and sprint to fire speed, which basically means when you're sprinting and you start to shoot, it's quicker. So the speed from running to shooting is a lot quicker than running to shooting without having the sprint to fire speed. Perk on, let's call them a perk. So yeah, with that on, it's quite good. So next you want to go to the stock and you want to put on fly strap. Fly strap is here. Now again you get sprint to fire speed, which is what we got with the rear grip, and also we get aim walking movement speed, which basically means when you're walking and you're aiming, you're quicker than not having the aim while walking movement speed perk on. So you'll be a lot quicker with while aiming with this perk on, and you're just losing aiming stability, but it doesn't matter because you don't need all of that stability anyway, because it is quite stable. So smack that on, and then next what you want to put on is the optic. Now for this, any of these sights are gonna make your aim down sight speed slow anyway, but it doesn't matter because with one of these sights on, it is really quick aiming in. Now you have a choice of two sights to put on, and both of these I use quite a lot. The first one is the Corp Combat Halo sight, Hollow sight, not Halo sight. Don't know why I just said that. Corp Combat Hollow sight, and it gives you a perk of precision sight picture. Not too sure what that means. I think it's to do with like a clear view of what you can see through that scope, through that sight, but it makes your accuracy go up quite a decent amount, and the range. So that overall is really good, but the mobility and the control drops down just a smidge, but that's fine. And obviously your aim down sight speed is going to be a little slower, but you ain't going to tell the difference. So that's one of them that I normally use, and the other one that I normally use is the APX5 holographic sight. Now exactly the same perks, which is precision sight picture, as well as aim down sight speed that you lose out on, but none of your accuracy, your damage, your range, your fire rate, all of that, none of that changes. It stays the same. So between the two, I would probably stick with the hollow sight. in my opinion, but I do use them both, so it doesn't really matter too much. But if you don't want to use a sight, you will still have a slot spare on your weapon. So let's take this off. Go over to perks. Now the perk that you are going to want to put on is Frangible Wounding, which is the first one we are on. Now this inflicts wounding damage effect, so when you're shooting somebody, say you put one bullet into them, healing will be briefly delayed for that person you're shooting. So say I've just been shot and I don't have that on, it will take probably a second longer to get my second quicker to get my health. But if I had this on, and if the opponent had this perk on and shot me, it will take a second longer for me to get my health back. So that's what I would suggest using, because it is a really decent perk in my opinion. So that's it for the weapon. Now we're going to head over to the secondary. Personally, I used the Joker or the JOKR, whatever you want to call it, because I rarely use pistols. If I do use a pistol, it's always the Desert Eagle, because everyone knows the Desert Eagle, it's one shot near enough all the time. But so if you want to pick your secondary weapon, then that's fine. I normally use the Desert Eagle or the Joker. So we're just going to leave that. And next we're going to go over to perks. Now personally, I go cold-blooded, because then you are undetectable by thermal optics and any kind of AI targeting system, so like a VTOL or something like that. Next, I always choose Ghost, because then you're undetectable by UAVs, radar drones, heartbeat sensors, and you're immune to snapshot grenades. Now that is incredible, because you don't want to be spotted by UAVs. Who does? So yep, that's for that. And then my third perk, I choose Shrapnel. Now I use Shrapnel because I like to use claymores. I normally play stuff like Headquarters or Domination, you know, games like that, not just team deathmatch. I have to play like objective games. So when I'm like capturing a flag, I'll always put a claymore near to the flag or the HQ, and then I'll have another claymore to put down somewhere later on in the game, as long as I haven't died. But it don't really matter if you die or not, because you'll still get two. So yeah, so that just brings us on to the lethal. So like we're just talking about, claymore, so you'll have two claymores. You could even use a C4 or proximity mine. They're probably the three that I would suggest picking, because they're like, proximity mine are triggered by players or vehicles. C4, you trigger them by tapping X, double tapping X yourself or pressing RB. And claymores are just it's the same as proximity mines, to just get triggered by players. So that's that for the lethal. And then tactical, it don't really matter. I prefer to use flash grenade, but I have recently been using the decoy grenade, which is quite good on the on standard game modes, because when you're throwing the grenade, it comes up as a red dot on their minimap, so it's like you're an actual player, and then they'll get distracted by that, and then you can just go in and kill them. But normally I have been using the flash grenade, especially for when I'm playing Headquarters, because when they're trying to capture it, you want to flash them and get in there and wipe them all out. So yeah, that's it for the P90. That's my class, my personal class, that I think is incredible. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to hit that notification button to stay up to date with all the latest games, news and gameplays. So that's it for today's video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and it's been good, it's been great, it's been Deacon Gaming.